Forget Friday the 13th, forget Halloween. It turns out Gun Interactive's next game has been right in front of us this whole time. Welcome back to another video. It's good to see you guys. Got some interesting details today about Gun Interactive's next game. It was so interesting that we were like tempted to not cover it because I'm not a big fan of ruining a dev's team entire marketing plan.
Right.
This is one of those things though where it's public information. You can go find this yourself right now. I'm actually amazed that this is not being covered because it's been public information since September of 2024 and just no one's caught it yet.
Yeah. Actually, we were looking up something else.
Yeah.
I was looking up something else and just was like, you know what? Let's just see if there's anything new over here on this side of the coin.
Yeah. So we were gauging the United States Patent and Trademark Office. We were looking for something specific and just happened to come across Gun Media Holdings trademarks, which of course go back to October of 2012, Breach and Clear.
Hell yeah.
Their first game from a while back. And of course, you have the Gun Media logo, the Gun logo, now the Gun Interactive trademark, etc. Obviously, they don't own the trademark to F-13 the game or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those are, Horror Inc. and Vortex, so that's why you won't see those here. However, there is something new on here that does not pertain to games that we are aware of. That is Scout Dracula.
Right.
Scout Dracula is their latest trademark registration, which as of January this year, 100% verified. It looks like at some point they had a little, I don't want to call it, it wasn't like a full-scale like lawsuit or anything, but there was a point where DC Comics could step in and claim ownership of the trademark, something like that, or dispute it.
Yeah, we're not lawyers, obviously.
Yeah.
Either they had the trademark and they weren't using it, so Gun applied to take it, or they were notified that there could be potential infringement, so they were allowed to review and see if it was.
Yeah.
Something like that. But as of January 15th of 2025, looks like that is no longer the case. It is full steam ahead.
Yeah. So Scout Dracula apparently will be the title of their next game. And since they themselves trademarked it, it's an original game, just like Breach and Clear. So Scout Dracula, the trademark registration is intended to cover the categories of downloadable electronic interactive video games, providing temporary use of online, non-downloadable electronic interactive video games, production of video game and computer gaming software. You get the point. They have the trademark for Scout Dracula for their next game.
And merchandise.
And merchandising, of course. You're going to get one to get the other. On top of Scout Dracula, so they have this first logo that has the bat symbol underneath it. You have a logo that's just typography, like this one here. They have this symbol, which is a blood drop over sticks, it seems. The mark consists of a campfire, but specifically it's like a blood or a droplet above it to look like the fire itself.
Right.
But something about this symbol is important enough where they went out of their way and trademarked the symbol.
Right, because separately they also trademarked the bat.
Yeah, the bat and its cute little feet.
Yeah.
Cute little feet there. So what does this mean? What does this mean for the rumors about the next license? Or what does it mean about Halloween? What does it mean for potentially F-13, a remaster or whatever? Honestly, in regards to those things, it doesn't mean anything. It was only a matter of time before Gun were to do an original game. And a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I would have been excited for that. I think taking the leash off of Gun and just because, they have clearly fumbled some things here with TCM. No doubt about that. It's going to haunt them for a while. And it's going to take a lot to earn the trust back of players and get them back in there. As a lot of people have already said, I'm out. I don't care what they do, which is fine. I think it's fair game. If you say you'll never buy anything from Gun again, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're clearly in a tough spot. But I think one thing that people do agree on is that at their core, at the game design that they deliver is solid. Like F-13 is a fun game. TCM is a fun game at its core. It falls apart once you get to like deep meta game and things like that. but they make fun games, man. If they didn't make fun games, we wouldn't fucking talk about them. We wouldn't care about F13 and TCM.
We wouldn't be this passionate when these games get shut down prematurely.
Yes. So being able to take the leash off of them and not have to worry about any licenses getting in the way, I always thought that would be a good thing for them.
Yeah.
Now, doing an original game with the state of TCM and what happened with it, I can't imagine a worse time to launch an original game. Who knows when this is going to happen? This trademark, I think, was originally filed. If we go, so the original application for this trademark was filed in May of 2023.
For that bat. Go back to the text, maybe. Maybe that's older. May. Oh, okay.
No,
that's
these are more
older.
recent. So yeah, the earliest trademark filing for these symbols goes back to May of 2023. So they've been working on this for a while. That's clear. And is it going to be the next game that they announce? Possibly. I think it's starting to sound like Gun might have a lot more in the chamber than we thought.
Right.
You're talking Halloween potentially. You know, we're still the rumors of F13, and honestly, this whatever the next project that they're announcing is, I still feel like it's a licensed game because the way Wes described it on the interview that we talked about in our last news video like this is that it was a bucket list item. Do you think he would talk about an original game as a bucket list thing? He could.
At first, I said no. But to do that, sure, you have Breach and Clear. But that's not horror.
Right.
Making your own original IP, sure. I'm sure that's on a lot of publishers' bucket lists.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, there's a chance that is what they're talking about, and that could be what gets announced here in the next couple months, Scout Dracula.
Hopefully that announcement is not too premature. I mean, you have to assume they're kind of far along. But
Yeah.
only getting this trademark in January of 2025, and they were wanting to release this late 2025, 2026,
Yeah.
early mid 2026. Like, that's putting not putting all your eggs in one basket, but that's taking a risk.
Yeah. And, another reason I wanted to talk about this right now, where I think I'm kind of hope it doesn't make anyone mad, because if your expectations are expecting a Halloween announcement, or you're expecting an F13 announcement, or another licensed game announcement, and all of a sudden Scout Dracula, an original game, is announced, some people might be like, thank God, get away from the licenses and do something yourself. And like I said, you're taking the leash off them. They could probably really do something cool.
Right.
But, I mean, if you're hoping for Halloween and you get something that you've never even heard of before, I think that comes with a lot of disappointment before we even have a clue what the quality of the game is, or who's working on it, or who the developer is. So now, us talking about it now, I hope can maybe set us up where we're not as disappointed if this is the next game that gets announced in October or whenever they're planning on announcing.
Right. Yeah, I scoured all these legal documents, the stuff with DC that DC was sending for extensions and stuff. I scoured to see if there's any developer info in there. Couldn't find any.
Yeah.
Naturally.
So, don't know where they're going. It's safe to say it's going to be a multiplayer game, some sort of PvP probably. May fall into the ASIM genre or something similar to it, but yeah. A vampire game.
And with a lot of merch as well. They filed for merch as well. Magnets, headphones, mobile phone cases, pop sockets, also mouse pads, t-shirts, stuff like that. They filed for those applications as well.
That's one of those things where if you're going to do it, you should get it all.
You might as well.
Yeah, you might as well get it all. Who knows how successful it is where that can happen. Part of me is excited to see Gun do an original game for the reasons I said about them having that door open, take the leash off of them. But because of just where we're at with TCM and things like that, it's really hard, because we always said the next game from Gun, comes down to what the license is and who's the developer. And yeah, it's hard to support something in just the current state of things. But
right,
I don't know. They make a kick-ass game and everyone's talking about it. Yeah, let the fans speak for you. You deliver something cool and don't let it die in a year, and don't charge $10 for characters, I think people will end up buying back in. And the thing is, 90% of the TCM player base, the however millions of downloads that they have, it is those people don't have a clue what's going on.
No.
They don't have a clue who Gunn is, who Wes is, who any of these people are, and they just bought a game, got some time with it, and when the next one comes around, they'll probably be there. When it pops up in their home feed, they'll probably try it out.
Mm-hmm.
So, how do you, in terms of all the original things to do, I don't know how I feel about a vampire game.
It's interesting. I guess you could do some sort of like a morph ability with a vampire, or transforming into a bat and flying across a map.
Right.
Assuming this is multiplayer, it's got to be. That's what Gun does.
I would say it's definitely multiplayer. Whether or not it's PvP and ASIM, that's up for debate. It could be something more along the lines of like Outlast Trials, where it's PvE, or Aliens Fireteam Elite, things like that. But I think what they're going to want is to put the character of Dracula in your hands.
Right.
And yeah, it's probably going to be PvP for that reason. Yeah, I don't know. And how big of a budget do you go?
And who's the dev?
Who's the dev? Yeah, and obviously you don't have to worry about splitting the cost between a licensor now. So you, in theory, the wiggling room for profitability, it should be substantial. They should be able to make money easier.
Right.
But at the same time,
not having an IP attached puts you at a significant step down as far as visibility.
Yeah, just marketing alone,
Mm-hmm.
it's much more difficult to market an original game, and that's why, like I said 2 years ago, you could have really leaned on the name Gun, and that could have been a selling point.
Yeah,
I don't know if that selling point is as effective today. We're gonna find out, I guess.
Kane hotter as a vampire,
Bro. Could be. Just use Kane for everything now.
Be interesting.
Kane's always wanted to be Dracula, Can't you see it in him?
It would be interesting having a vampire with different body shapes. Different cast of vampires that you could pick from with different abilities, stats, etc. Yeah. And one of them could a big boy, big guy.
I'm sure Kane would do it.
Yeah, why not?
But I don't think that's the case here.
No.
As we talked about with Kane and Ilphonic in that next game, they just mocap for it. Safe to say this has probably been far along.
You would think so.
And he did say that that's the third game they're doing together. If he already did another game, he probably would have already leaked it by now.
Yeah.
So safe to say that's not the case. I still think that's probably Halloween. And if they have another licensed game that potentially is that bucket list item, or if Wes is referring to this, then yeah, that's where we are. But what are your thoughts on this one, huh? This is interesting. When we came across it, it was like, oh shit.
Again, was not looking for this at first. I was looking up other trademarks and applications for a different company, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do a little searchy search, and
oh wow, Scout Dracula, huh? Yeah, I'm intrigued. At the very least, I'm intrigued, but I don't know. You got to sell me on this one with some pretty kick-ass gameplay.
Absolutely. And the developer is key. We don't want no sunset towers.
That's right. But hey, that's our thoughts. Let us know yours in the comments below. But that's going to wrap this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.